Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for staying with us for so long. We really appreciate your support. I know it's been a long day. Without a delay, let me continue. When it comes to protecting connected cars, it's very important to know what drives cyber criminals, knowing emerging new attack vectors, and industry counterattacks. And our next talk covers just that. Let me introduce to you our speaker, Vit Sembera. Vit Sembera has a master's in computer science from Brno University of Technology in Czech Republic. He is expert in reverse engineering out IoT devices and focuses on automotive technology in terms of cybersecurity. Before I hand over to Veet, please use a Q&A tab at the right side to post your questions for speaker, and make sure to visit our lounge areas and booths after the session. Please welcome Vit Sembera on stage. Over to you, Vit. I will hide myself from the stage and you can continue.
Thank you, Jit, for the introduction. Shortly, I'm based in the beautiful city of Prague, in the heart of Czechia. I have spent 2 decades in Unix world as a consultant, and I've been always interested in hardware, IoT security, compilers, and secure software development, and also in car electronics. And 5 years ago, I have built most of the BMW F series electronics on the floor, as you can see on the picture, in the living room. And I can say that the family members have not been really cheered by that. So it was natural when Trend Micro started VicOne subsidiary. I have jumped on board and joined the team. My favorite skill is reverse engineering, and I have spent a lot of time in IDA Pro decompiling ECU firmware. Now let's explore the roadmap we will be traversing today. I know that some topics have been mentioned today in previous sessions. On the other side, they are important, and maybe we will take another point of view on that. We will begin with the evolution of automotive attacks, tracing how malicious tactics have changed over time. From there, we will transition to the current landscape, examining the existing state of automotive security and the vulnerabilities that demand our attention. We will talk about the trends and innovations that are shaping the automotive cybersecurity domain today. And next, we will dive into the future outlook, pondering the potential scenarios and implications that await us on the horizon. And finally, we will wrap up our journey by delving into the law of protection. We will scrutinize the measures and strategies that can serve as a shield against the growing tide of automotive cyber threats. Let's make a first overview how a threat landscape has transformed over time. To provide a comprehensive understanding, let's delve into a detailed breakdown of different areas, exploring key aspects that have shaped the evolution of attacks in the automotive sector. In the emerging electronics area, the automotive landscape has been in nascent state. Vehicles featured single ECU. Internal communications were limited to sensors and actuators, and external communications were virtually not existent. Basic protections were rudimentary, and the primary attack types included physical access and manipulation of the early electronic system that were present. Typical example is an engine ECU tuning made by fuel injection parameters alteration, which is known as chip tuning. In the pre-connected era, the number of ECUs was still limited, as were both internal and external communications. Only basic protections were in place, and the primary attack types still involved some physical access and proximity attacks. An example could be in tampering with car mileage by overwriting memory values and instrument clusters. With the advent of early connected vehicles, the number of ECUs started to increase. The CAN bus is still main communication channel. External communications remained limited, and attack types evolved to encompass current mass attacks, but just in researcher labs, and exploits targeting diagnostic systems were used in shadow garages. Popular changes in non-user modifiable parameters like switching of startup system or selling codes for navigational maps updates. The next one is the telematics rise, impacted in growing ECU counts and multiple communication protocols such as CAN, LIN, FlexRay. External communications expanded to cellular, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. And enhanced code and data protections were introduced. Attack types grew to include remote exploitation in research labs, and on the streets, we could see the key fob relay attacks, and as they were popular way of stealing luxury cars at the time. In the era of advanced IoT cars, external communications continued to proliferate. Advanced protections, including intrusion detection and protection systems, or communication channels encryption are implemented already in some cases, and attack types further advanced, targeting remote control mobile applications and APIs. Finally, the future smart era. In the future smart era, the ubiquity of ECUs and in-vehicle networks will become a defining feature. Communications will extend mainly to 5G and vehicle-to-everything interactions. AI-driven protections and anomaly detection mechanisms can be expected to be deployed, and attack types can evolve to include AI-powered attacks and V2X exploits. If we summarize how automotive attacks were looking in the past, we got this picture. Simple and straightforward attacks were centered on theft. Jamming and relay attacks became the weapons of choice. Those techniques aimed to disrupt communication between electronic keys and vehicles, enabling unauthorized access. In the realm of advanced attacks, research paved the way for a new breed of tactics. Researchers dived into the potential of Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and LTE connections as initial attack vectors. And attack sequence evolved into a multi-stage process, like we could see in latest Pwn2Own, where guys hacked Tesla Model 3. It was like 8 stages attack. The head unit is usually a crucial gateway, often acting as a second stage in the attack. From there, the path is leading to the gateway, which serves as an intermediary to the CAN bus connected ECUs. A pivotal distinction is the primary objective. Advanced attacks often gravitate towards taking control over part of the vehicle or the whole of the vehicle, and this demonstrates safety concern as researchers showcase their ability to manipulate critical functions, potentially endangering occupants. In the present landscape, advanced attacks have escaped the confines of control environments, security research labs, and ventured into the wild. Attackers capitalize on exposed canvases through the vehicle. A prime example is targeting areas like the headlights, which were not really publicly considered as a security risk. Attackers have devised innovative techniques to circumvent theft protection mechanism, and this involves sending maliciously crafted CAN messages, exploiting vulnerabilities within the vehicle's digital architecture. This technique serves as a backdoor to bypass established security measures. Unlike some historic attack patterns focused on showcasing control, the main objective of these advanced attacks is straightforward: vehicle theft. Attackers strive to gain access to the vehicle systems, manipulate key functions, and initiate unauthorized movement. The snapshot of current attack patterns underscore the urgency of adopting robust cybersecurity measures. Attackers have evolved from simplistic theft tactics to stealthy intrusions into the digital fabric of vehicles. This dynamic landscape necessitates adaptive security strategies that can thwart these emerging threats, safeguarding vehicles against potential breaches. The emergence of connected cars bring a new era of possibilities and vulnerabilities for attackers. Before the advent of telematic control units, the threat landscape was relatively contained, with attacks limited to near proximity scenarios. However, as cars became connected, the attack surface underwent a significant expansion. This transformation wasn't restricted to vehicle alone. It encompasses backend infrastructure as well. The domino effect of connectivity opened doors for malicious actors to exploit not only the vehicles, but the entire ecosystem surrounding them. Within this expanded attack surface, mobile applications and vulnerable APIs emerge as the prime targets. As vehicles connected to the digital realm, the interfaces they relied upon, including mobile applications and APIs, became potential entry points for cyber attacks. Moreover, the proliferation of mobility services like Uber and Bolt introduced new challenges. The expansion of such services meant that the entire fleet of vehicles were now interconnected. This scalability came at a cost. The entire fleet could be targeted simultaneously, amplifying the impact of any successful attack. This dynamic landscape underscores the pressing need for holistic security measures that extend beyond the vehicles themselves. Within the realm of connected cars, we encounter a treasure of valuable resources that both users and attackers seek to exploit. Connected cars are data powerhouses, generating and collecting a wealth of information. From driving habits to GPS location, this data forms a comprehensive profile of users' behaviors and preferences. This data is invaluable for manufacturers and service providers seeking to enhance user experience and tailor services. However, its richness also makes it an enticing target for malicious actors seeking to profit from personal and sensitive information. Connected cars are not targeted just for their data. Physical access to vehicles, often facilitated by ride-sharing and driving services, is a potential entry point for attackers. Imagine a scenario where vehicle digital systems are compromised through a ride-sharing application. Such access could pave the way for further attacks, from theft to potentially use for anonymous transport of illegal items. Modern connected cars are equipped with powerful processors, AI and graphics accelerators, and network connectivity, essentially transforming them into powerful computers. And those resources can be harnessed for both beneficial and malicious purposes. While manufacturers leverage these resources to offer advanced features and services, attackers might co-opt them to launch attacks or utilize the vehicle's computational power for nefarious tasks such as crypto mining. One of the examples that underscore the potential consequences of automotive vulnerabilities is the infamous TikTok challenge known as #KiaBoys. This challenge originated from a YouTube video by the Milwaukee's teenage Kia boys demonstrating how to start a car using a USB connector, an act that seemed playful but had serious consequences. The challenge targeted Korean-produced vehicles, impacting approximately 9 million cars. The repercussions were far-reaching, with thousands of cars stolen and a distressing record of 14 crashes reported to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, resulting in 8 fatalities. A root cause can be identified without investigation. A lack of immobilizer devices in certain models produced between 2011 and 2021. And this vulnerability enabled unauthorized individuals to start the vehicle engine bypassing weak security measures. The consequences of these vulnerabilities were not just measured in lives lost, but also carried a hefty financial cost. A settlement of 200 million was reached, reflecting the magnitude of the issue. In response to this crisis, manufacturers took an action offering free software updates that could be installed within an hour in an authorized shops. These updates introduce several questionable measures to enhance security. First, the length of the alarm sound has been extended from 30 seconds to a minute. A new safeguard was implemented. The car must be unlocked using a key fob to start the engine. And recognizing the necessity for additional layers of protection, an aftermarket immobilizer was offered, and this device available for a price up to $750, included installation labor. Additionally, a free wheel lock was provided for thousands of customers. This has been this vulnerability has been in detail presented by Ian Tabor and Ken Tendell personally in the previous session, and I recommend to see the recordings for those who missed it. So, short overview: the vulnerability has its own CVE. Its implications are both concerning and revealing. In my opinion, it's a tipping point in an automotive cybercrime. This vulnerability introduces a tangible threat that begins with a strange action, dismantling the car bumper or headlights. This seemingly innocent act exposes a crucial vulnerability, a direct path to one of the CAN buses in the car. This vulnerability takes an even more alarming twist: modified Bluetooth speaker, readily available for sale at quite significant price of €4,500 is weaponized by an added microcontroller to inject malicious CAN messages into the exposed bus. It means that attack on internal CAN bus can be performed by any attacker without detailed knowledge of CAN technology or internal parts of the vehicle. The outcome of this attack is simple. The internal state of the vehicle's ECU is manipulated. In a sense, the attacker sends the validation message of the key fob. This flow effectively deactivates the immobilizer, rendering the security measures obsolete. Once the immobilizer is compromised, doors are unlocked with another message injected, and the steers are ready to go with the car. As of now, this vulnerability is known to afflict one of the Japanese manufacturers. However, it serves as a cautionary tale for the broader industry. The potential for similar vulnerabilities to be found within other OEM systems is very real. Now we will confront a critical issue that resonates with the interconnected nature of modern vehicles. It's an API vulnerabilities. Several researchers conducted in 2022 discovered a troubling reality that sent waves through the automotive industry. A staggering 90 manufacturers brands were affected by those vulnerabilities, underlining the far-reaching impact of the issue. The vulnerabilities enabled a spectrum of unauthorized access and control over vehicles. For example, attackers could remotely manipulate various aspects of the vehicle functions, posing a direct threat to driver safety. Stealing personally identifiable information, the potential for data breaches and identity theft loomed large. Next was the viewing live images from vehicles, a breach that violated user privacy enabling unauthorized surveillance, the ability to track vehicle movements, raised occurrence concerns about stalking and unauthorized tracking. Internal applications used by manufacturers were compromised, exposing potential attack vectors, and also the vulnerability related to car ownership led to altering vehicle ownership, which could result in a cascade of legal and security issues. It's noteworthy that most of affected manufacturers acted swiftly, implementing patches to address those vulnerabilities. However, the gravity of the situation persists. We can mention Right to Repair initiative, which has a relation to automotive cybersecurity as well. It's an undeniable reality that car companies hold a significant monopoly on parts and service. As an example, we can take Tesla, where a battery compartment repair costing $16,000 can be rectified by an independent garage for $700. This fact raises questions about fairness and accessibility. This initiative isn't just about cost, it's a call for a fundamental right of customers. Customers are asserting their desire to have autonomy over the repair and maintenance of their vehicles. And this right encompasses access to essential components, software, documentation, and more. And this sentiment was reflected in the Massachusetts 2020 Right to Repair initiative. This initiative aimed to ensure that consumers and independent repair shops have the same access to vehicle data as manufacturers. The implications reach beyond the vehicle itself, extending to software and technical information. The implications of this initiative impacted the automotive industry. For example, John Deere's can be taken, or John Deere's example can be taken by passing software locks to enable repairs by independent entities. This parallels the large dialogue around the power struggle between manufacturers and consumers. However, it's important to note that open access also raises security concerns. The NHTCA highlights the potential dangers in utilizing open access to remotely control vehicles dangerously. Balancing access with security is remaining a challenge. And federal law takes precedence over the state law in this context. So NHTSA wields the final authority in the enforcement. The interplay between the state and federal regulations is a pivotal in shaping the trajectory of this initiative. As we gaze into the future of automotive technology, a significant trend is emerging. It's over-the-air updates. This approach to software updates offers both promise and challenges, shaping the landscape of automotive cybersecurity. OTA updates have already begun making inroads, albeit partially in recent vehicles, mainly for updating IVIs. The in-vehicle infotainment systems serve as an entry point for this evolution, reflecting initial steps towards comprehensive implementation. One of the major benefits of OTA updates lies in their ability to deliver swift responses to security incidents. Vulnerabilities can be patched promptly, minimizing the exposure window and mitigating potential damage. However, the flip side of this rapid response is the increased risk of remote attacks. The very mechanism designed to enhance security can also serve as an avenue for exploitation. Remote attacks targeting the OTA process could have far-reaching consequences. The future of automotive technology is undeniably connected with the advent of 5G connectivity. This transformative development brings new possibilities, but also poses unique challenges that demand our attention. While 5G is available in some recent car models, the full spectrum of its capabilities is yet to be harnessed. Two key attributes define the 5G evolution. It's low latency and high bandwidth. These characteristics unlocks doors for real-time data collection and transmission, revolutionizing the way vehicles interact with their surroundings. The power of 5G is enabling cloud-based architecture. Vehicles can seamlessly share and access data, enabling collaborative navigation, predictive maintenance, and enhanced infotainment. 5G's potential extends beyond connectivity. Using software-defined networking architecture enables great flexibility. However, this complexity introduces a formidable challenge in ensuring security. As vehicles become more data-driven and interconnected, safeguarding against sophisticated cyber attacks becomes imperative. Looking ahead, the trajectory of automotive technology leads us to the era of software-defined vehicles. This shift holds the potential to redefine vehicles as we know them, introducing a new paradigm that requires careful exploration. The transformation towards SDVs prompts a critical architecture decision, use of centralized or distributed electronic control units architecture. Another key consideration lies between in-vehicle processing and cloud-based architecture. Cloud-driven systems leverage remote computing resources, opening doors to real-time data analysis and collaborative learning. SDVs offer scalability and adaptability through over-the-air updates, and this capability empowers vehicles to evolve dynamically, accommodating new features and enhancement based on user preferences and emerging technologies. The SDV revolution marks the convergence of automotive technology and traditional IT. Operating systems, security protocols, and data handling merge, bridging the gap between the automotive and the IT landscape, which makes the life of the attackers easier. As we confront the imperative of safeguarding automotive cybersecurity, it's crucial to adopt a strategic approach that leverages existing frameworks and regulations. Let's explore the actionable steps to fortify the digital ecosystem of connected vehicles. The pursuit of automotive cybersecurity needs to not start from scratch. Existing resources, frameworks, and methodologies can serve as a solid foundation for building robust security measures. Regulations play a pivotal role in shaping automotive cybersecurity. Examples are the UNECE, VP29, and ISO 21434. These regulations define cybersecurity risk management across the entire lifecycle of the vehicles, encompassing concept, development, production, operation, maintenance, and decommissioning. UNECE R155 establishes a comprehensive framework for addressing cybersecurity risks associated with electrical and electronic systems in road vehicles. This holistic approach ensures that no stage of a vehicle lifecycle remains unguarded against potential threats. And guiding the practical implementation is in the ISO 21434 standard. This standard outlines how to execute cybersecurity risk management through the various stages of vehicle development from concept to decommissioning. The heart of those efforts lies in effective cybersecurity risk management. This entails meticulous attention to detail during the concept creation, product development, production, operation, maintenance, and ultimately the decommissioning of vehicles. Moving beyond theoretical concepts, let's dive into the pragmatic strategies that can fortify automotive cybersecurity. These approaches form the bedrock for safeguarding the digital integrity of connected vehicles. Secure development lifecycle is a crucial first step in integrating security from its inception of a vehicle's development, as DLC ensures that security considerations are woven into every stage of the design, coding, testing, and deployment. The zero trust architecture paradigm is inevitable in a connected environment. It dictates that no entity should be implicitly trusted, even those within the vehicle's internal network. Instead, every communication and access request is verified. Over-the-air updates are an essential tool for adapting to evolving threats. By implementation secure OTA mechanism, manufacturers can swiftly deploy patches and enhancement, minimizing exposure windows. Intrusion detection and prevention systems act as sentinels, alerting to suspicious activities. Coupled with robust log and events management, these tools are insight into potential breaches and anomalous behaviors. Proactive threat management entails identifying vulnerabilities and potential attack vectors. By conducting through risk management, manufacturers can develop strategies to preemptively counter emerging threats. And the Vehicle Security Operations Center is the hub that orchestrates cybersecurity efforts within a vehicle. It monitors, detects responses, and recovers from threats, offering real-time insights into the digital well-being of the vehicle. To fortify automotive cybersecurity, a secure development lifecycle is indispensable. Let's describe the practices and tools that empowers this approach, and ensuring security is an integral part of every stage of vehicle development. Embracing a proactive stance, available practices and tools from the cornerstone and tools from the cornerstone of SDLC. These resources equip developers with the possibility to weave security into the very fabric of a vehicle's digital architecture. The OWASP software assurance maturity model serves as a guide, helping organizations gauge and enhance the security practices. It facilitates the assessment of current security maturity and provides a roadmap for improvement. Static application security testing tools scrutinize code during the development phase. These tools identify vulnerabilities within the source code, enabling developers to address potential security gaps before they escalate. And dynamic application security testing tools engage in real-time analysis. They simulate attacks on running applications, uncovering vulnerabilities that might manifest during the execution. The paradigm of zero trust architecture represents a seismic shift in the automotive security. Let's explore this transformative approach and its relevance in today's complex digital landscape. Zero trust architecture challenges the conventional notion of perimeter-based security. In the paradigm, the assumption of trust is discarded, and every communication, interaction, and access request is scrutinized. A fundamental tenet of zero trust is encapsulated in never trust, always verify. This approach mandates continuous verification of identity and authorization, irrespective of the source or context of the request. In the context of the diverse and interconnected nature of modern vehicles, zero trust architecture is imperative. Vehicle comprise a heterogeneous network in components and interfaces, necessitating meticulous verification of each entity legitimacy. Traditional vehicle networks like CAN are notorious for their vulnerabilities. They lack source authentication and encryption, rendering them susceptible to manipulation and unauthorized access. And zero trust extends its influence beyond CAN networks. It factors in networks like CAN-FD and FlexRay that offer greater bandwidth, but still require anti-spoofing and forgery measures. Intrusion detection and prevention system are well known and have been speaker before me have been speaking about them. I just mentioned the EC logging, which is necessary, but there are issues because the computational power of the CPUs used in today's control units, and also the bandwidth is not enough to use full logging, and then also the storage inside of the ECUs is very limited. So this need to be changed in the future. Threat management. This is a very important topic which can allow the early detection, proactive defense, enhance safety, reduce financial impact, and increases consumer confidence. It can allow or is necessary for regulatory compliance and allows a long-term sustainability. Specifically for the solution provided by our company, one of the big benefits is access to zero-day initiative vulnerability database, ensuring that information about new threats are instantly available. And the last slide I have for today, it's related to VSOC. We also develop a solution for vehicle software secure operation center. The VSOC allows the real-time monitoring, rapid response, continuous protection, intelligence gathering, and incident management, cyber resilience, data-driven insight, and also indirectly the consumer trust by demonstrating a commitment to maintaining secure vehicles. So that's all from my side. And if you have any questions, I am willing to or trying to answer them.
Thank you, Vit. It was very insightful. We have few questions. So what I will do, I will take it based on the voting, and we might not be able to take all the questions right now. But as discussed with the Vit, he will be available in the lounge area.
Yeah.
And you feel free to reach out to him, connect with him, and get your all queries answered. For now, I will take two questions from here. I will just bring on the stage. What do you think a motivation is to hack a car beyond the white hat hacking? I mean, if you want to steal a car, there are by far easier methods rather than trying to find and compromise a Wi-Fi BLE connection to open or close the car.
Yeah. Motivation, for attackers, there is always a financial motivation. Just stealing the car is the easiest way how to get something valuable. It can be a car or it can be a truck with filled with some items which are valuable. So up to now, it was very difficult to steal a car using advanced hacking tactics. It was much easier to use very simple key fob relay attack, or just break the windows and steal the car, or connect to OBD port and deactivate the immobilizer. Now we see already the advanced tactics on the street, which is the Toyota canvas attack. So we will see. It needs just an investment, several thousands of euros, and almost no knowledge is needed just to connect the device to the car, press the button, and you can go with the car. So I think that can be more tempting, and we will see what will be the evolution.
Thank you, Vit. And I'll take another question, which is from Arvind. Can you give some examples of attacks in the wild against the interconnected cars?
Against interconnected cars, uh, I think the most prevalent are attacks against APIs now. Not directly. I don't know if the questions is asking about V2X or vehicle to vehicle communication. I think it's still in the stages of research more than seeing in the wild. I don't know about the public incidents of the API leading to car attacks. It's still in the stages of the research. That doesn't mean that it does not exist, of course, but it's not publicly revealed yet. So I don't have example.
Okay. Thank you, Vit. I believe we have a couple of minutes. I can take one more last question
Yeah.
from Andre. Can you provide an example how a solution in a zero trust manner is different to common solutions today?
Yeah. For example, it's if in the Toyota Canvas attack, the message has been authorized and not implicitly trusted, this can be a simple protection for such attack. Yeah, that's one example that's coming to my mind.
Okay, thank you, Veet. I believe the many more questions can be taken to the Veet as he will be available at the launch area. So please feel free to reach out to him, ask as many questions as you can, and also don't forget to visit our booth areas and get explored the different products and organizations we have it for you to showcase. Thank you so much, it was really informative. We greatly appreciate the information you brought to this platform, and at the same time, I do appreciate the attendees as well for staying with us for entire day. So thank you so much all, and have a good time. A few more sessions are there. Please feel free to attend that as well. And thank you. Bye bye. Thank
Thank
you,
you
Veet.
very much for your attention.
Thank you.